Hello and welcome to episode 18 of series 1 of Master League Story Mode. Happy Monday to you all. I hope this episode will be an exciting one and we'll get some of the form back that we've been lacking in recent weeks. And it can be the tonic to the beginning of the week, which is always so hard for me anyway. I don't know about you. In the last episode, we had some ups and downs. I think the big up was the signing of Safir Taider from Bologna. Massive signing. And Tim has done what he's done so far, and he's gone and found a player who showed a lot of promise in his youth, just like Zakaria Bakali, who we've started to polish up the rough diamond that he is. We've gone and found Safir Tidy, Tidy. He is tidy. That's why we like him, very tidy in the midfield. But the reason we've gone and signed him, because he is the destroyer. The real hard, granite hard presence in the midfield that Guthrie didn't quite give us. And he has had an interesting career. I've had a little bit more of a search, a bit of a Google around him since the last episode. He's, he started off as a very highly rated player, got a move to Inter Milan early on in his career, in his early 20s. Didn't quite fulfil the promise there, got a loan to Southampton, and a loan to, I think, Spain somewhere as well. Didn't really play any games. He's back at Bologna now. Not quite fulfilled the promise that he showed as a youngster. But Tim is now going to bring that out of him. But the downside of the last episode, having signed him for around 6 million, which was high end of what we could afford, we had to sell 3 players. So we did sell players, Marshall and Guthrie, who we were sort of planning on getting rid of anyway. But what this has really left us with is an obvious bit of a hole up front. We don't really have any signings, any players other than Koita who can come in and do a job replacing any of the players up front. So what we want to find in this episode, before we get into the game, is some sort of attacking midfielder, winger, striker, who can play across various positions, and we can get in on the loan because we're running out of money rapidly, or we can sign for a good price. So, first of all, to do that, I'm going to go back to the favourites. We've got 1.2 million at the moment, which isn't loads, but it's enough for a decent loan transfer, I reckon. So, let's have a look at the favourites. Who have we got in here who we could look at? We've got Carl Lafferty from Norwich City, one of Tim's linked clubs as part of the transfer rules. I'll remind you of them again in a minute. We've got Alessandro Diamanti, who I'm a big fan of. The 33-year-old journeyman striker, attacking midfielder. He's got craft. He's got swerve. He's got insane swerve. And he's got a howitzer of a right foot, which he showed when he was in the Premier League playing at West Ham. Haven't seen him much for Watford this year, but I think we'll put in a loan bid for him. Definitely fancy him. DePaul from Valencia would have been a good signing, but unfortunately we can't deal with him anymore, as Gary Neville, who was Tim's contact there, is now gone. Didn't last very long, did he? Now Victor Fisher. This was one of the scouts brought him through, and uniquely for a scout, normally you get a boost in chance of signing when you scout them, and then they become unscoutable, like these 3 down here. Ayub, Anderson and Serrero. But Fisher still looks doable, so I think we'll definitely put in a loan bid for him as well. He is class. He's actually starting to really come into his own this season at Ajax. He, in his early teens, sort of 18 years old, he was really highly rated. He was looked at by teams like Man United. He's still at Ajax. He's been there for a while. But he's starting to play really well this season. He had a bad injury, I think last year or the year before. But looks like we can maybe sign him. That's teetering on the edge of the realism rules for this. But I can square that off in my mind. That's fine. So if we can get him, that would be great. Now, next thing we can do is look at some of the linked teams to Tim Sherwood. Now, if you weren't with us earlier in the series, you will have missed the whole 6 degrees of Sherwood rule, which basically means that we can only deal with teams that Tim Sherwood has a connection with. So, this can either be teams that he's played at. So this gives us Watford, which was the first club where he started his career. Also Norwich, his second club, and Tottenham as well. He played at other clubs, but they're not in the game. Blackburn, obviously, he played at, but we're the manager there, so we can't sign from them. We've also got Aston Villa to look at because he managed there. And then things start to get a little bit more tenuous. We can start making connections with players or managers that he's played with. Basically, little people he can give a call to and be like, all right, I need to try to sign some players. Can you help me out? So from that point of view, we've got at Zenit St. Petersburg, obviously one of his best mates in the world, Andre Villas-Boas, who I'm sure in his time at Tottenham, where they roughly overlapped, I'm sure they would have got on really well. I can really imagine that. So we can have a look at Zenit in a minute. And then also we've got QPR, where Les Ferdinand, his ex-teammate, is the director of football. So easy for him to have some connections with them. And slightly more tenuous, we've got ones like Stoke, where Shay Given somehow is still playing there. And even more surprisingly, perhaps, he played with Tim at Blackburn. So, you can get on the phone to Shay and say, help me out, trying to sign a player from you. So let's take a look at some of these teams. First up, let's look at Aston Villa. He's pretty fresh from this job. He's got some connections there, almost certainly. See if there's anyone in here that takes our fancy. Again, we're looking for an attacking player or a striker. Jack Grealish would be good, but he's only 64 overall. He's not really going to cut it for us, which is a shame. Gested up front is very similar to Ulari, so we'll leave him. Kozak again, he's more of a target man, not what we're looking for. We want someone who can really play in a couple of different positions. No one there really takes my fancy. Who's next? Let's have a look at Norwich. Anyone in there? Nathan Redmond. Yeah. Got to give a shout out to new commenter Kakarot, who, big respect, clearly just from his comments, spent a good few hours at least going through some of the old episodes, leaving some really great comments and some suggestions on the old episodes. So, well played, good perseverance, and he came through with some great suggestions for this transfer window, one of which was Nathan Redmond. Doesn't look like we'll be able to sign him. 1 out of 5 on the chance of signing is pretty unlikely. So I think for now we'll leave it. Also, I think he'd probably be out of our price range. Yeah, he's worth 6 million. So I think we'll have to leave that. Anyone else in here we can maybe deal with? And who else can we look at here? I think maybe Watforders. Yeah, they might have some interesting players. This was another suggestion, actually, from Kakarot, which was Ake, Nathan Ake. He's been great this year for Watford. He's been a real revelation. He's been playing mainly at left back, I think. Sometimes in the centre. Here he's in as a central midfielder. Ex-Chelsea youngster. He'd be great. I'd love to sign him. Oh, look at those stats. Good passer, good ball control. He's got a little bit of everything. I love to see those sort of long patches of green stats. So definitely put in a loan for him. See what we can do there. Anyone else in here? Kichianya. He's good. He's quick. That's about it by the looks of it. Yeah, the rest of his stats are poor. He can play pretty much anywhere, but Odion Igalo, he's been incredible this season. He's dipped towards the end, but he's a real goal poacher. Yep, I think we'll put in a loan for him. I like the look of him. I think maybe Hooper might have been a better choice, but I'll go back to that. Hoban. Interesting. This was another suggestion from Kakarot. 22-year-old Irish centre-back. He's a youth prospect, so he's got time to grow. Only 67 overall. Well, I put him in the favourites. We're not looking for a centre-back right at this moment. So the other one we had was Stoke City. Oh no, Tottenham as well, obviously. We'll have a look in there. See if there's anything that Tim can get. He's fresh out of Tottenham, really. He's got the connections. Eric Lamela. Wow. Eric Lamela on a loan would be nice. 2 out of 5. Looks like it's doable. That'd be pretty ridiculous. I think that might actually go against the realism filter. Andros Townsend, not so much. I think we could probably get him without feeling like we're really ruining the game. Look, they've signed Nani. Great signing. Great signing. Not really. Yeah, that'd be doable. Okay. So we've hit our target there. We've hit our limit of transfers. Tottenham. Yeah, I can't sign Lamela. That'd be great. It looks like he is doable from there, but we can't do it. Stoke City as well. As I mentioned, we've got the Shay Given connection. A very loose one. Let's see if anyone in here takes our fancy. Nope. The Championship, we've got QPR, who we can deal with. The team that we have lost our single defeat of the season 2 so far. A few players in here which looks like we could do with. Cherry absolutely ripped us apart. Yeah, he's a great player. No wonder he absolutely destroyed us. Look at that. He's a really, really nice looking little player. Doesn't look like we'll be able to sign him though, unfortunately. Any forward players look like they might fancy a move. Jamie Mackey. Only 67 rated. I'll pass on him. No, nothing in there really. Use that AVB link. Bezzy mates, as I'm sure they are. I'm sure he won't mind us Taking a little peruse of some of his players. Ex-Tottenham buddies. Anyone in here? Zuba. Oh, he looks good. Look at him. Big lad. Big lad. Only one there. It's probably not going to work. Any of these? They've signed Javi Garcia. Of course they have. No. Okay. So, looks like we've hit our limit there, really, of interesting players in those teams. So, let's crack on. World Footballer of the Year. Should be Jordan Veretout. Is it Jordan Veretout? It's got to be Jordan Veretout. Has to be Jordan Veretout. Congratulations, Let's crack on. Ipswich up next. Could be a tight game. Could not be. Last game was a bit disappointing. Hopefully the team has had a good rest now. It's been more than a week. We can go out with a bit more zip. A bit more zing. Come back from that disappointing draw. Oh, okay. Victor Fisher. So none of the other ones were a goer, but could be an unlikely loan transfer for Victor Fisher, which would be great. 1.3 million for a 6-month loan. That's big. Must be able to do something with that. Option to buy would be nice. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk it. Is it worth the risk? I think so. If we could sign him, he's going to be a great player. I don't know where we'd play him. Guess we'd have to drop Ulari. Maybe 75 as a second striker. Can play as an attacking mid as well. Okay, here we go. First match of the episode. We're away at Ipswich Town. Oh, Tider. That's not what we want. Well, I'm going to play him anyway because at least everyone else is looking good. Ulari on a red. I think I've decided that I'm going to actually push Tider up a bit. He was a little bit out of the game playing that far back. So we'll keep these two a little bit closer together. It's a shame for him to be on a downward arrow. It wasn't the best debut ever. Wasn't the worst though, so we're coming off a disappointing draw against Middlesbrough. Oh, and congratulations to Middlesbrough. As we record this, they've just been promoted to the Premier League in real life. Good effort, lads. Looking forward to seeing you in the league next year. As Blackburn will be in this game. But anyway, disappointing draw. We just about scraped it really in the end. We need to come back strong after that poor performance. So let's go, lads. Tider, unfortunately, starting on a downward blue arrow, the new signing. Early ball over to Murphy. Hanley cuts it out well. Spur back in the side. Into Bakali. Spurs making a great run, but he just puts it back in. Ulari takes it. Can he get there ahead of Smith? He can. Into Bakali. Whips it in. First time ball. Veretout edge of the box. Oh. Hanley up against Murphy. Does really well into Tider. It's a good ball into Ulari. The ball from Ulari back into Veretout. Back to Ulari. Hits the post. Can he get the rebound? He can't. Oh. Should have had that. That's unfortunate. It's a good ball over to Toure. Hanley's there, though, to cut it out. Chips the ball over to Spur. Blackburn looking confident so far. Playing with a swagger that we've not seen in recent weeks. Spur looks to do Hyam down the right. He does. He's got Ulari in there. And G tries to get ahead of his man. He can't. Falls out to Bakali. The touch is pretty heavy. This is where he likes to be. Taking men on. Bakali. Oh, it's a great block at the last second from the Ipswich player. Blackburn coming out all guns blazing here. We need to make this count with a goal, though. And G gets ahead of his man into Ulari. Dummies the shot. The ball's out to G again. Little chip into Rhodes. The overhead kick. Oh, it's beaten off the line. Not the best overhead kick anyone's ever done. Spur outside the box. Hits it with the left. Carly in there. Oh, it's a good tackle. We had him pinned down there for a second. Ball from Veretout over the top to Ulari. Takes it well. Finish with the left. Oh! Ulari's had chances. Another good ball out from Tyder there. Bakali inside his man. Oh, he hasn't quite got the strength to take it away, though. Ulari's won it back. Ulari with the curler. Oh, it's tipped away. All over them in the first half. 0-0 definitely flatters Ipswich Town. Heads are down. They know that they've taken a beating in this half. 39% possession. Ipswich yet to get a shot off. But if we can't make these chances into goals, it's irrelevant. Okay. We need to make all these great opportunities really pay off here. Solid defence there from Ipswich. It was pretty well worked though. Duffy in really well. Can we break here? Little chip over from Tyder into Ng. Oh, it's got to be a foul. Edge of the area. This is vintage Veretout territory here. It's just a talking to for the Ipswich player. That was a big tackle from Berra. Rhodes had just done enough to get away from him. Oh, takes the hit. Veretout's scored a couple of beautiful free kicks so far this year. Can this be another one? Yes, it is! He loves that position. That, I mean, you literally can't... Even if he was trying to pick a position to put the ball in for a free kick, you'd struggle to find a better one than that. And Jordan knew exactly what he needed to do. He was unerring in his accuracy. Great play from our player of the year. Bosch. Well, we needed that. We were struggling to score a goal from open play. Struggling to really make up any opportunities even. But from a set piece. God, Touré's got some pace to him. Oh, he does well to get ahead of... Oh, no way. No! How the fuck did that happen? Jesus Christ. Touré was a real pain to spur there. The ball came in. Looked like Hanley had dealt with it. Tyder was slow to react. The ball inside. It's just really poor. And it's 1-1. Looks like it could be another really, really disappointing game here for Blackburn. This could be us off the top of the table. We can't grab the 3 points, which we so massively deserved. Veretout into Rhodes. Yes! Come on! Don't know if we deserve that. Really, really awful last 10 minutes. But thankfully the Jordan to Jordan axis comes through, as it has done so many times this season. Grabs us the win. We are not playing well at the moment. Can't put my finger on the problem. But we seem to have scraped it here. Koita did well. Actually, Rhodes did well. Don't know if that was a back heel or actually it might have just been a pass, but Rhodes continued his run. And from here, keeper with a blunder. Couldn't get a strong enough arm on it to palm it away, and it's slipped through him into the goal. Thank God for that. We could not be dropping any more points. We've got Hull breathing down our necks in second place. We really need to keep possession there, Clinton. It's got to be full time. Blow the whistle, ref. Get on this Steely, and that's game over. Just kick it out. Thank God for that. Well, it was a battling win there. Potentially not massively deserved, but we got there in the end. Actually, it sort of was deserved. In the first half, we were all over them. So many shots, so many chances, not taken. Ipswich only had one shot and they scored. We had 6. 6 on target. Only 2 goals. Veretout had a good game. Decent play all round, really. I think we made it look harder than it was. I think that's the problem there. Okay. 5 points clear. Looking good. Massive, massive goal difference. So we're pretty sorted on that. There's been an update. Option to buy at 8 million. That's not bad. 6-month loan, 1 million. Definitely taking that. Wow. Wow. That came out of absolutely nowhere. Huge, huge transfer. Victor Vischer, who was scouted in the first transfer window of this season by our lovely scouts. Nice one, Tommy. Question is, do we bring him in front of Ulari? Or where do we play him? Brilliant signing. Great signing. And we've got the potential option to buy at the end of the season. Now, Victor Vischer almost goes against the realism rules, I think. He's a highly rated youngster, but he's not quite fulfilled his ratings, as with Bakali, as with Tyder. These are the sort of players we're buying from these European teams, so I'm happy with that. That's not a problem. So that leaves us with 146,000 in team funds. Now I'm thinking maybe potentially the sale of Kilgallen, 1.3 million. We can look for a young centre-back. Something around the 70 overall would be good. So let's take another look. We did have the potential to really push the 6 degrees of Sherwood, or how many degrees I've been saying, to potentially sign Reece Oxford from West Ham, which was another one suggested to me this week. So Reece Oxford, highly rated, 18-year-old centre-back, 68 overall. He'd be great. It's worth 500,000. He's definitely signable. Now this is tenuous. This is adding another degree to the 6 degrees of Sherwood, or how many degrees? So 1 extra degree. But it is using our good mate Arry. All right, Arry. Oh, all right, Tim. Yeah, that young lad Reece Oxford. I'll have a word with Slaven. Hey, what? Oh, don't worry. I'll have a word to... Ah, cheers. Cheers, Arry. Because he's a lovely little player. Yeah, he's a lovely little player. Lovely. Sorry, I've forgotten who I was doing then. Anyway, but I'm going to allow it because I would like to sign him up. I've heard a lot about Reece Oxford. He played really, really well in the first game of this year in the Premier League against Arsenal in defensive midfield. But here is a decent-looking youth prospect, centre-back. We need that replacement from Kilgallen. I've squared it off in my mind. He's fine. He's doable. So I'm putting a bid for him. He'd be lovely. Lovely little player. So we'll sell Kilgallen. Hopefully bring him in. See how that goes. So, only 2 days later, we're back at Birmingham City. But look who we've got. Victor Fisher. Boom! Some serious manoeuvring there from Blackburn Rovers' scouting department. They've managed to bring in another rough diamond. A bit like Bakali. Something that we're looking to really mould here. That's a lovely little signing. And we've got him on the potential to buy for 8 million at the end of the season, which, depending on his performances, we might want to exercise that. Let's see where he fits into the squad. This is going to be tricky. Oh, on the face of it, he's a hell of a lot better than Ulari. Ulari's not been firing recently. He's had his chances. But then do we bring in a lone player in his place? He's got basically everything over Arry except for his physicality. So we've got to bring him in. We've got to. The league is not yet won, people. Team spirit has dropped by 4. Not sure why that's happened. We won the last game. Brought in a new signing. Do new signings make the team spirit go down? I don't know. I don't care. We've got Victor Fisher. Let's get into the next game. So we're at home to Birmingham. We scraped the last win. We need a comfortable win. Bakali, not up for this one. But we do have another new signing. Victor Fisher. Not an incredible finisher. 74. Better than Ulari. But he's got speed. He's got ball control. And he's actually a decent passer as well. So he should work well. In fact, I think I'm going to play as him as second striker. So drop him back slightly to try and pick up the play with Veretout. And we've got Tyder clearing things up in the centre. I think we're going to bring in Olsen for his first start of the season. He's a defensive-minded player. We'll drop him back slightly. And then if we want to later on, how does Fisher look out on the left? Not bad, but that's not his position. Okay, up against Birmingham City, playing a pretty attacking formation. Nobody really in there that scares me. They've got a lovely kit, Birmingham City, but let's get into it. So we're back at Ewood Park for this matchup against Birmingham City, who are languishing mid-table. There's our new signing, Victor Fisher. 2 massive signings in this window. They say there's no value in January. And they might well be right, because we've spent near on 7 million on 2 players, which in the Championship is a lot. But the Venkies are investing in Tim Sherwood, investing in the future. So off we go. 2 new signings in today. We've got Tyder and we've got Victor Fisher. Hanley instantly gives the ball away, wins it back. Now what we need today is a confident win, because so far this season, at the beginning of the season, we were winning games at a canter. And now we're struggling a bit. Tyder in really well. He's been quietly doing his business in the last 2 games. He's been brought in to shore up this midfield, Tyder, and he's doing it here. Victor Fisher can quite get onto it, but Rhodes is there. The curler blocked by the Birmingham defender. Gets it away as far away as Spur. This is Fisher here. Shows good pace. Off to Olsen. Spur into Olsen. Can't get there. Got speed to get around Eardley. Inside to Rhodes. The header! 1-0. Rhodes pounces on the rebound. It was a decent attempt at a save from the Birmingham keeper, but it came off the post. It's 1-0. As I was saying, we need a confident win here. We've been faltering a bit, even though we're top of the league. We've dropped what was a big, big gap at the top, so only a few points. Rhodes, first header off the post. He's the quickest to react. It's 1-0. Hanley, Veretout, Olsen. Olsen's first start of the season. Good ball through to Victor Fisher. The new signing inside. Great play. Curls it. And he gets the second. Victor Fisher with a goal on his debut. What a start. Does really well to cut inside. Back in. He's got that dribbling. He's got that pace. And the finish was easy from that point. Past the keeper. Curls it in. Fisher. He's got space to run into here. Goes for the long ball into Rhodes. Manages to get on the end of it. Can he finish? He can't. Good save from the Birmingham keeper. Olsen keeps it in though. Ball into Veretout. Oh, flashes it across goal. Really starting to get our groove back here. This is exciting. The signing of Fisher, although it seems to have ruined our team spirit somehow. It's made us play with a verve and vigour that we've not seen. Fisher almost getting on the end of that one as well from Rhodes. Olsen, early cross in, deflected away. Great start here. Loving this from Blackburn. Tyder lines one up, hits it. Oh, off just the base of the post there. Tyder trying to get his first goal. And a lot of space there coming from deep. Hits it really nicely. Fortunately, just off the post. Tyder. Oh, he's got it this time. Another goal for another new signing. Tim Sherwood's transfer policy paying off. Paying dividends in this game. Look at him. Tyder, another player that Sherwood is going to take under his wing. Great play from Blackburn there. Playing with some unbelievable swagger. It's just too easy at this point. Tyder given too much time and space. Easy pass inside. Rhodes had loads to use. Veretout and Fisher both in there. Tyder shrugs off the man trying to pull him. Finishes well with the right foot past the keeper. He had an opportunity just like that only a few moments ago. So he'd found his range. Look at the way he just holds off Gleeson. This guy is a beast. He is the destroyer that we thought he would be. Tyder defensively strong as well. 3-0 at the half. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Birmingham City are, I believe, the weakest team in the Championship, stats-wise. So it's not to be too surprised at a victory result like this. But that is pretty comprehensive against any side. So great half here. Really great start to his career for Victor Fisher. Fisher wins it back. Jordan Rhodes. Oh, just tipped round. Fisher and Rhodes linking up again. Lovely little dinked ball in from Rhodes, from Fisher into Rhodes. I think Rhodes had a chance to take a touch there, but he didn't. Went for goal. He's gutted. Lovely play here from Blackburn. Fisher with the second. Silky, silky passing there. I was mesmerised myself by that. That's beautiful. Fisher with his second goal. What a signing. What a signing for Blackburn Rovers. How many passes was that in the build-up? Quite a few. Veretout into Rhodes. Into Olsen, who's had a great game. Spots the pass. Fisher. So much coolness, so much calmness from the Dane. Stops it and finishes on his weak foot. That's a lovely ball in from Olsen. He's been brilliant. But Carly must be wondering, is my place at left midfield? Is it as solid and as safe as I thought it was? Great play from Spur there into Fisher. Again, he's dropping a little bit deeper than Ulari would. Streaks away from his man. Oh, and it's a third goal for Fisher. Lovely play there. Picked the ball up so deep, he's full of confidence on his debut. That's a debut hat-trick for Victor Fisher. Ulari potentially head in hands on the bench here. Wondering, is he ever going to get back into the team? Birmingham just really have given up here. Fisher with the dribbles and the finish. Great stuff. So, Bakali and Ulari, both starting on the bench, coming on for the last 10 minutes, haven't really been missed here. Feels like Ulari's going to really have to fight to get back in this team. Ball over to Ulari. Can he use his strength to get ahead of him? He can. Hits it with the left. Oh! Keen to come on and make a difference. Ulari has seen the new signing Victor Fisher come in his place. But Ulari, great strength there to get ahead of the Birmingham player. Takes a touch, hits it with his left. It was always a difficult angle. Into Victor Fisher. Is it another goal here? Great tackle from the Birmingham player. Silky stuff there again. The link up between Rhodes and Fisher. It's as if they've been playing together their entire lives. Fisher unlucky not to get a fourth there. It's a good save from the Birmingham keeper off his foot. And then an incredible sliding tackle. Hanley. Good jump there. Fisher has been absolutely incredible in this game. Let's try and get him 4. Unselfishly though, looks for Rhodes. Though at this point it does seem like he could just basically dribble his way through anyone. Let's not discount the defence today. They've been strong as well. Hanley. Look at that. 5-0. What a start to his Blackburn career from Victor Fisher. It's a £1 million loan. But there he is, embraced by his teammates. They know he's had an incredible game. And he, as a signing, will pretty much have secured promotion for us this season, I'm pretty sure. But look at that. Doesn't get any more comprehensive than that. 38% possession for Birmingham. 0 shots on target. I'll be interested to see where they are in the league at the moment, but probably last, I'm guessing. Look at that. 8 on his first appearance for the club. Victor Fisher with 3 goals. He could have had 4, could have had 5. Jordan Rhodes played well. Tyder as well had a great game. Bakali and Ulari resigned to the bench. But I think Bakali, although Olsen actually had a great game, I think Bakali probably will be our first choice. But he's not progressing as I might have liked. Let's just check where Birmingham are. No, Birmingham in 13th. So actually they're not doing that badly this season. Okay, looks like we might be able to sign Reece Oxford as well, which would be great. That would be an incredible transfer window for us. See how much Slaven is asking for us. Obviously, we've had the king of the transfer deadline day, Arry Redknapp, as our contact on this transfer. So again, we're stretching the transfer rules slightly. 500,000. Lovely. I think we'll take that. So I'd quite like to reduce the transfer fee, and I quite like a longer contract than that. I'm not too bothered about that, actually. Re-signing contracts in this is not an issue, generally. But we'll have him. We should see that in the next episode, and then we can probably let Kilgallen go. Pretty pleased with that. Oh, Oxford was on the transfer list. I didn't notice that. No wonder we've got him so cheaply. That is a great signing, though. So, what an episode this has been. I'm full of so much more happiness and confidence than I have been in the last few. We're back on scoring form. We've signed Victor Fisher. It was a massive one. We wanted him in the last transfer window. We just about missed out. We've got him on loan with a chance to sign him, which is the big part of that transfer. I'm glad we went for that. I'm glad we held our nerve. So, exciting. Next match, we've got Brentford, who are doing well. So we'll see you in a bit.